What is going on, YouTube? Lamont at large. Today we are in the pornographic capital of the world, the San Fernando Valley, particularly Van Nuys. Very quickly, gonna go to a couple different locations. A porno murder happened about 15 years ago, right up the block, involving these two gentlemen right here. Gonna briefly explain the story. Forgive me if it's a little bit loud out here. We are right next to Van Nuys Airport. So without further ado, the curious case of one, well, let me explain. Okay, so we're gonna go back in time about 15 years or so. So it's the summer of 2010 here in Van Nuys, California. And this guy right here, his name is Stephen Hill. And now Stephen, things are looking up, depending on how you wanna look at it, in his life. I mean, he has a great job, kind of. See, he's a adult film star, and he goes by the name of Steve Driver. Now, he doesn't make very much money, but he gets paid to have sex with girls and guys. Lots of guys, yes. Yeah, so Steve Driver, this gentleman right here, he has been in such fantastic films as The Teabagging Party, and of course Palin Erection 2008. No, I did not say election. And he's also been in well, you're just gonna have to look that one up. I'm not gonna say that name on this channel. This is still a God-fearing channel, and I know kids watch this channel on occasion, and we're gonna try to keep it as family friendly as possible. Wow, that's a really disgusting name. Anyways, try to get that out of my mind. So enter one 30-year-old Herbert Hin Wong. So this guy right here, he is affectionately known to the many fans of his work as Tom Dong. Now, it is believed that that Herbert and Stephen, they have worked together on some form or another of gay pornographic movies. I can't confirm that, nor am I going to. I'm sorry, you guys are on your own with that one. You're more than welcome to go look it up, but I'm not. So anyways, so we're gonna go to the first week of June 2010. Now listen, I don't know what's going on in Stephen's life. I don't know if he's on drugs. I don't know if his work is starting to fail. But where Stephen, AKA Steve Driver, where he would film some of the adult content for his employer, Ultimate DVD, he also lived there. And a couple other guys did too, including Herbert, AKA Tom Dong. So you got about 3 or 4 or 5 guys who are living basically on an adult film set. And this place also manufactures DVDs, gay, straight porn, whatever kink you're into, they got something for you. However, the week of June 1st, 2010, the big boss, or whoever the hell he is at Ultimate DVD, he goes up to Stephen and he says, hey, listen, you gotta get out of here. Again, it's not known exactly why he was kicked out, but you got to think it's pretty hard to find a place to live in Southern California. So this guy is living, okay, not the greatest of living arrangements. I mean, I live in a trailer normally, so, you know, but I like it. So maybe he likes living on an adult pornographic film set. But for whatever reason, they tell him that you got to go. You have until Wednesday. Pack up all your things and get out of here. Now, a normal person would say, okay, you'll make arrangements, but you always want to leave your employer on good terms, because you never know. You might need their reference. You might come crawling back on your face in 6 months. Who knows? So instead of Stephen taking up, packing his stuff up and just finding another place to live, he gets really upset, and he goes ape nuts on these people right over here. So on June 2nd, 2010, Stephen goes to 7625 Havenhurst Avenue, and he starts packing up his stuff. Now, as he's packing up his stuff, he sees a couple of the other adult performers, if you will. Now, of course, this place, they're going to have a lot of props on the adult set where they film the movies. So there's a ninja sword that they use for a prop for a movie. So this guy takes the sword and it starts attacking this guy. This guy is screaming for his life. This guy's running around with a sword. And so he starts chasing the other guy. He stabs one guy. He stabs another guy. Now, Herbert, a.k.a. Tom Dong, normally, now, I got to give this guy credit. This guy, normally, if you see somebody with a sword attacking other people, you're probably going to want to run away, like I would. But no, he did not run away. This guy ran to Stephen, trying to stop him. In the process, Stephen stabs him in the torso with a sword. And that wound would, unfortunately, be fatal. So he ends up stabbing 3 guys, and then he flees the scene in his 1998 Toyota RAV4. Now, by the time 911 was called and they get to the scene, they take Herbert to the hospital where he's later pronounced dead. The other 2 guys survived. And sadly, Herbert lost his life at the hands of an absolute maniac trying to help and save his other friend's life, in a sense, giving up his own. Now, I'm not exactly sure what suite number this Ultimate DVD was at. This is the location, of course, but I cannot find the exact location. But in one of these buildings, next to where that cat is, somewhere right here, a man lost his life. Well, we got another cat over here. How many cats are over here? Oh, there's another cat over there. Oh, so there's a bunch of cats here. Okay, all right. But somewhere right here, anyways, is where the murder took place. At the time this crime occurred, it was all over local media news in and around the Southern California area. So basically, we got an APB on this Steve Driver guy, aka Stephen Hill, and this guy is a loose cannon. As a matter of fact, before he moved to Southern California, he was a student at the University of Maryland, and he got arrested for assault with a deadly weapon. This guy pulled out a gun on his college professor and told him that if he doesn't give him an A, that not only was he going to kill him, but he was going to take his body and dismember it and hide it in the mountains of Virginia. So he was arrested and charged with that. So we're already dealing with a guy that has more than 17 screws loose. So about 4 days later, on this street right here, be somewhere right here on Azul, somewhere on Azul Drive right here. It'd be up behind me. I had to turn around and come back this way. So this was the general area where he was found, which would have been the 8800 block of Azul Drive. It's one of those streets where, you know, if you go around the corner, you see a car coming in, you got to pull to the side and let them pass. So as we traverse up this hill, see, this would be a really great time for me to have my electric scooter. But anyways, this is one of those neighborhoods where everybody knows everybody, and if they see somebody that looks suspicious, kind of like myself right now, normally people would just call the police. So this is the 8800 block of Azul Drive. So he was parked right up here in these areas, somewhere right here, and the house right there is for sale, probably $2 million, probably $2.5 million. So yeah, he would have been right here. He was probably, you know, more than likely parked right here, and then he would have ran up into the cliffside over there. And so from about 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., you got a lot of LAPD, and you got paramedics, and they basically chase him up to this cliff, which is probably over my shoulder. I wish I had my drone right now, but of course I forgot it. But so they stand off 8 hours, and he says, you know what, I'm out of here. So he jumps off the cliff about 50, 60 feet, splat right on his head. So the paramedics that come in, they get to him and rush him to the hospital. There's nothing they can do. He's dead. So now you have, you know, 2 deceased pornographic film stars. And this all happened because one guy, Steve Driver, just has a bad brain and just, I mean, what kind of nutcase threatens his professor? I mean, that's what kind of lunatic this guy was. And sadly, he had to take the life of an innocent man who was simply just doing nothing but defending his friends from the attack of a lunatic. This is the final resting place of Herbert Hin Wong, August 15th, 1979 to June 2nd, 2010. Loving memories, family, and friends. I know people in this video, and I don't police my comments. If I see disrespectful comments, I'm going to remove them. And I know people are gonna have their jokes or what have you. I wanna say, and then the video on this, regardless of what you say, I want everybody to know this guy would still be alive today if he simply did what 99.9% of people, their instincts tell them to do, which is to run away from danger. This guy, he didn't do that. He didn't run away from danger. He ran towards danger, and that is why he was killed. So whatever you want to say about this guy, this man deserves everyone's respect for trying to save the lives of 2 other people, which is what he did. So rest in peace to Herbert Hin Wong. All right, guys, matter. See you on the next video. Peace out.